I had received a book in the mail that was about a magician named Harry Houdini. And Houdini was a great illusionist of this century who was a decidedly non-spiritual person, very, very unique character. They described Houdini in there as being able to do these great tricks, and how in order to perform these tricks you had to use illusion and you had to use deception and smoke and mirrors and chicanery, and your purpose on stage in entertainment is to convince the audience that this is really happening, but in fact you're playing a trick on them. And so you're cheating in some way, you're deluding them in some way. And that's what magic is perceived to be. He said in there that he got to a point in his life where he did these tricks so long and so often and knew it so well that he got to a stage that was beyond believing, to a stage that he called knowing. And when he knew that he could perform these tricks, he could do it without the delusion, without the smoke and the mirrors, that he had such a powerful knowing within him that knowing allowed him to enter this world that this author described it as real magic. I've had glimpses of this in my life, and all of us have. Everyone listening will have had examples and glimpses of magical things that cannot be explained with a rational mind, but we have a tendency to believe that they're just some chaotic happenstance, that they have nothing to do with rational, scientific, left-brained analysis. And my point in doing this book and these tapes is in helping people to see that there's much more to it than just luck and just happenstance.
You'll see a whole new world with real magic, making miracles in all areas of your life. Spirituality, serenity, and success, as you define it, are absolutely available to you. These aren't reserved for the lucky or the chosen few. There's no trick involved, because all you have to do to change your life is change your mind. It's simply a matter of connecting with the tremendous power that resides in all of us. This power will give you the ability to create things in your life that you only imagined up till now. Do you feel stressed and overburdened? Then listen to the Spiritual Dozen and take the first steps to miracle making. Do you want to have a magical relationship? Then concentrate on developing spiritual partnerships like the ones outlined here. Whether you're working with a business partner or your life's partner, these techniques will make a profound difference in your interactions with others. In fact, you'll be able to make wonderful shifts in the way you do anything with this Nightingale Conant program. You can start with small things, then apply these techniques to more important matters as you progress along this purposeful path.
Miracles, which is what I'm talking about here. I mean, it was Christ who was the miracle worker. Even the least among you can do all that I have done, and even greater things. Now, I take that literally. I take that to mean that within you is this magnificent, omnipotent, omnipresent, all-knowing, all-seeing, divine, invisible intelligence.
Your guide for this journey will be world-famous speaker and author Dr. Wayne Dyer. He's plotted this roadmap to miracles through his own life experiences which include 8 books, among them bestsellers Your Erroneous Zones, You'll See It When You Believe It, and Real Magic, upon which this program is based. Wayne has recorded several best-selling Nightingale Conant audio and video programs. There's Transformation, The Awakened Life, and Choosing Your Own Greatness. And he's a recipient of the Toastmasters International Golden Gavel Award and a member of the International Speakers Hall of Fame. This series of live and studio recordings is arranged so that you'll first hear the theory that will help you realign your thought processes. Then you'll learn the practical application of this theory to make real magic in your life. As you'll hear in this segment, the first step to becoming your own miracle maker is to remove the doubt that magic is possible in your life. Wayne has a dramatic illustration of how the power of belief worked for him in a simple tennis match.
I was in a tennis match, and it was set point. The fella hit the ball, and I was meditating my way through the match. What you begin to do is you begin to realize that anything that you're doing in your life, whether it's golf or tennis or making a pie or running your business or whatever, you can shift to this level of consciousness where you can go within and access this divine guidance that you are. It isn't something that's outside of you. It is within you. And you begin to access it, and you can do it at any time. And it's what they call zoning in some sports. It's what a Czechoslovakian author called flow. And in flow, you get to this divinely perfect place where you are at one with your environment. And so I find myself, when I'm not playing well in tennis matches, I find myself shifting to this new consciousness and just meditating, just access and getting. And I was in such a powerful state, and we were playing a team that was far superior to my partner and I. They hit a ball that would have made it deuce. The ball hit over in the corner, and I was standing over here, and it was hit so hard that there was no possibility of my being able to run over and get it. But instinctively, when you're in flow, you let your body do things that it can't do. And this ball hit over in the corner, and I took off in this sort of semi-meditative zone state of mine. And I took off as fast as I could, and I got over here, and I just reached my racket out, and I hit the ball back for a winner, and we walked off the court. Now, the other two guys were going back to continue the game, and there was a whole crowd around there watching, because this was in a tournament, and they said, oh, he must have bounced twice. And they said, no, it didn't bounce twice. He got to the ball. And they asked me, how could you possibly have gotten to that ball? And I said, you're not going to believe this. But on my way to the ball, I saw it stop in midair and wait for me to get there. Listen to the display quote for Real Magic. This is from Samuel Taylor Coleridge, who wrote The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Old STC, as he called himself when he wrote his own epitaph. He said, what if you slept? And what if in your sleep you dreamt? And what if in your dream you went to heaven and there picked a strange and beautiful flower? And what if, when you awoke, you held the flower in your hand? Ah, what then? And what then indeed? Because I know I've played a lot of tennis in my life. And on 3 occasions in my life, when I was so connected, that ball has waited for me. Even the least among you can do all that I have done, and even greater things. I mean, changing water into wine like this makes making a tennis ball hold for a second or two small potatoes, doesn't it? You've got to know that in the unified field, all things are possible. As St. Mark said, to him that believeth, all things are possible. Not just some, not a few, all things. The power of knowing can create in your world what you previously thought of as absolutely impossible. Miracles are there.
This concept of knowing and believing, I've produced tapes called You'll See It When You Believe It. I have written an entire book that was a wonderful success and sort of applying metaphysics about believing. And it's at this point in my life where I've come to an understanding that there's something beyond believing.